Hello everyone, this is the starting of the next recording. I just talked about weapons and a few other things. Now I'm going to talk about perks. I saved the vehicle conversation for perks because it kind of ties into this. But we will talk about that towards the end. Let me start with this. So there is a lot of perks, and it's hard to determine what would be a good perk. Based on my experiences, the human fish was a worthwhile cost. It's only one. It helped me get to 5 or 6 places that would not have been possible without this. Black Market I found to be great as well. It does allow you to upgrade your explosives, and you can purchase special ammo, such as armor piercing and that kind of thing. Of course, the health stuff is great, so I bought that. This other stuff I didn't really understand a use for it. If you have a vehicle that's damaged, just fast travel back and get a new one. If you like fishing, I guess go ahead and go for it. It's not that bad of a cost, so. As for Harvest Master, I do not see a point in this. It's double reward from plants and animals. You find so many animals, there's really not a point, I think. Moving on to the next category. Parachute costed 1 point, totally worth it because of the helicopter combat, which we will discuss in a little bit. I didn't bother with wingsuit or airdrop due to their costs. I was trying to experiment with weapons, so I can't really comment too much on that. I did get Vehicle Buster later on as an alternative to carrying around the rocket launcher, due to just how much more versatility I get out of it, because the rocket launcher is essentially dead weight, just sitting in a holster waiting for something to be worth its while. Not only that, rockets are very expensive to get refilled at the merchant. I've found it a bit cheaper to just use Vehicle Buster on vehicles or just shooting the driver and passengers through the window. I don't know if this perk factors into windshield damage or hitting somebody through the vehicle, but it served its purpose, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I did unlock the 3 weapon perks. This one's SMGs and shotguns. This one's LMGs, launchers, and flamethrowers. And this one's rifles and sniper rifles. I got the Rifle Mastery first, and I was extremely happy with my choice. Rifles got me through so much of the game. That 308 carbine just wrecked. Now, the Weapons Pro, the one that's for SMGs and shotguns, I feel this is essential for working a shotgun, because that SPAS 12 will not be able to hit at a distance, at least to a point where it's worth your while. You want to try to get a one-hit, one-kill with the shotgun due to how long it takes to reload and its magazine size. There's nothing wrong with a heavy weapons mastery because LMGs are actually good weapons. So that's perfectly fine. Moving on to here. The Grapple perk actually got more use than the human fish and parachute. There was quite a bit of things that I needed a grapple for. It did give me more of a strategic advantage in the times that it wasn't required. For example, I could have stormed the enemy, or it could have just came up the side. That option was available to me because I had the perk. Sneaky Sprint is worth it, but you have to be careful, because the second you hit W, you sprint when you're in sneak. So it can be a bit more annoying to try to get takedowns or other things. Masterblaster reduces the components needed to craft the proximity explosives. So that's up to you. I don't really use explosives that much, but the few times that I did, it saved my hide. Those proximity explosives will shred through even armored. I didn't get Takedown Mastery because the few times that there was multiple enemies, I just ended up shooting them rather than trying to take them down one by one. But I imagine it would be an okay perk if you really wanted to do that. I skipped over Nimble Fingers. The disable alarms thing, I mean, that's a huge if. There is times when you're able to kill all the enemies before they can set off alarms. At the same time, there are more situations where you'll find yourself not able to disable the alarms due to them being in the thick of the enemy line. So I really don't know how to comment on that one. Primal Mastery, meh. It deals with bows, I don't see a point. Close combat, I only used my pistol as a last resort once I started getting into all the other weapons. So I really didn't see a need for it. Locksmith. Now, this is a perk that I do regret. Just like the repair torch at the top, it can open safes as well. The difference here is that you can also open doors. There are quite a bit of locked doors in the game, but those doors can be opened by keys that you find. So, I regret spending 6 points in that, because I was able to find the keys anyways for the door. As for safes, they can be opened with the remote explosives. Those are very easy to craft once you start getting into Masterblaster. The Throwback perk is 7 cost. I did not see the point in such a high costing perk for just throwing back something at the enemies. There was very few enemies that actually did throw things at me to start with. The few times they did, I just moved out of the way. Ghost was definitely worth my 7 points. I found myself sneaking around a lot trying to get into a sniper position, so it allowed me to do that quite nicely. Okay, down to here. The close combat gear bag, totally worth it. It's handgun ammo, melee weapons. For 1 point on as well. Journey pack, carry more items in your inventory, including medkits. Worth it. You go from 3 medkits to 5. Considering how many perks that you find in the game, 2 extra medkits is awesome. Tactical ammo bag. I found that to be worth it. Now, I did unlock all the ammo bag stuff in this playthrough, but I think you could refine it a bit more by figuring out your play style and maybe saving perks to be put elsewhere. Completely skipped over quiver, no point. Rifle ammo bag, I mean, rifles got me through the entire game, so worth. Throwable bags, meaning explosive, throwing knives, and bait. Like I said, I haven't really been using explosives much, but the few times that they did, that I did use them, they did save my hide. Special ammo bag, always worth it. That's Armorpiercing right there, which means that you have more weapons available to put some holes in the enemy. Heavy ammo bag. I would say this is only worth it if you're using light machine guns. Like I was saying earlier, the rocket launcher really is just dead weight. It's just, I don't know, inefficient, I guess you can say. And then finally you have the additional holsters. That's definitely worth it. And then we get into the follower perks. I won't click through them because it might be spoilers, but I'll click on this one, Leadership, which allows you to play with another squad mate or specialist, whatever you want to call them. Now, I did find the helpers to actually be helpful in this game. So I will say that 6 cost was worth it, and I'll show you why now that we're done talking about perks. Okay. Oh, well, I guess I'm gonna have to just avoid clicking on that. So you have your specialists, which are up there. You'll notice these people on the map anyway, so as long as I don't hover over them, I think you'll be able to figure it out and at least have some avoidance of spoilers. But fighters aren't really a spoiler because you'll find these people all throughout the world, and you can hire them. Soldiers are the ones with automatic fire. Snipers are the ones that take their time to line up a shot. I found the fighters to be, or the soldiers to be more efficient than the snipers by far, given that they are stuck to one weapon. It's just more versatile to have a soldier rather than a sniper. The reason I'm talking about all this is because I actually find the fighters to be better than the specialists. There's some reasons for this, like this one here. She's also a mechanic. She'll repair the vehicle. This is another reason to avoid repair torches. I don't understand the herbalist thing, but oh well. And then this one, the one I've had since the beginning, her second perk is will revive themselves when downed. That's insane. Essentially, these two tag team each other. This one makes sure it stays up, and this when this one's up, it takes care of the other one. It's the most efficient duo that I've ever had. These people actually move faster than you when stealthed, I have noticed. It is much more possible to deal with special scenarios thanks to that. So keep that in mind when planning out a mission. Now I would like to finish this recording by talking about vehicles, specifically helicopters. This is a shop for helicopters. We're going to talk about the combat, I don't know how it's pronounced, H-04B Foxfly. I have seen this in the world, but by the time that I saw it, it was so late in the game that there wasn't really much of a regret when I bought it. Not only that, you make tons of money. I have 8.9k after I bought all those weapons that you saw in my last recording, so the reason I like this Foxfly so much is due to its size. It's really easy to land, and on top of that, it has the guns slaved to the driver. Some of the other vehicles, you have to have a gunner to operate the gun, and the AI is just stupid when it comes to that. So I prefer to have the guns slaved to the vehicle, or the driver. This thing has, I guess, a minigun slaved to it and rockets. The minigun ammo is unlimited, but it does take time to cool down / recharge. However, it can kill vehicles in a good burst before it has to go on cooldown. The rockets aren't unlimited. They will run out eventually. When they run out, you'll get a prompt on the screen if you want to refill them for $1,000. It's not worth it. Just land the helicopter, fast travel back to the helipad, and spawn a new one. But that's kind of like the helicopter. Let's talk about why I'm talking about it now. You can get helicopters very early on in the game. This, I think, is the most efficient form of travel. not only because it will keep you in the air and above roads and other hazards, but just because it can kill most things, avoiding the use of the rocket launcher or other specialized weapons. It is a workhorse. I'm regretting that I did not use this much earlier in the game. There is a bigger version like it. This one over here. I don't know what the difference is between these two, other than size and seating availability. So yeah, I don't know if there's like an armor difference, HP difference, or anything of that nature. But I was really happy with the Foxfly, so I didn't see a need to go back and experiment. It did everything I needed to do. So yeah, and this is why I was talking about parachute and rockets earlier. Okay, but yeah, that's most I have on that. I hope it helps.